Hello, welcome back to our channel, where we talk about fitness and health. This is final video of the Beginner Roadmap for Muscle Gain series.
Okay, let's talk about building muscle. There is so much conflicting advice out there, right? Well, today we're cutting through all of that. We're going to take all that complex science and turn it into one clear, simple, actionable roadmap.
So if you've been looking for that one plan, the definitive guide that just tells you what to do, you're in exactly the right place.
This is it, your complete 12-week roadmap. We're turning all that complex exercise science into simple things you can do every single day. No more guesswork. Okay, let's dive in. So the best way to think about this whole journey is like a 3-act story. Each phase or act builds directly on the one before it. And here's a look at that timeline. It lays out the path perfectly. Weeks 1 through 4, that's our foundation phase. Then, weeks 5 to 8, we kick into the growth phase. And to top it all off, the final stretch, weeks 9 through 12, is all about intensification and assessment. Simple, right? Okay, so what do these phases actually mean? What are we doing in each one? Let's break down the specific goals, phase by phase. All right, phase 1, the foundation. Look, this first month is absolutely critical. It's all about setting you up for success down the road. We're not chasing big numbers on the bar just yet. That comes later. The main thing here, and this is so important, is focusing on perfect form over just lifting heavy. It's about building good habits, getting consistent, and really learning how your body responds. You're basically building the neural pathways, that mind-muscle connection that will support all the heavier, more intense work that's coming up. Okay, moving on to phase 2, the growth phase. Now that you've built that solid foundation, you are ready to start pushing for some real, noticeable changes. This is where the focus really shifts. We're going to increase the intensity, and your number one priority in the gym becomes something called progressive overload. Basically, that just means adding a little more weight or squeezing out an extra rep. This is where the magic happens. And that brings us to phase 3, the intensification phase. Think of this as the final push. This is where you really challenge your limits, you test your mental toughness, and you see all your hard work come together. So during these last few weeks, you're going to be pushing for new personal records, new PRs. But, and this is a big but, you have to listen super closely to your body. Managing that fatigue is key to avoid burnout right at the end. So look, understanding the phases is great, but knowing isn't doing, right? Success really comes down to what you do day in and day out. And that is built on 3 pillars of action: your training, your nutrition, and your tracking. Let's start with training. The schedule is awesome because it's both simple and super effective. It's an upper/lower split. That means Monday and Thursday, you're hitting your upper body. Tuesday and Friday, lower body. This lets you train every muscle group twice a week, which is pretty much the sweet spot for growth, and still gives you plenty of time to recover. Now, I mentioned progressive overload earlier. This is, without a doubt, the single most important concept you need to understand. Here's why. When you lift a little heavier than before, you create these tiny little tears in your muscle fibers. Then, when you rest and eat, your body doesn't just repair them, it builds them back stronger and a little bit bigger to handle that new stress. Seriously, without this cycle, there's no growth, period. Okay, let's talk nutrition. It all starts with being in a slight calorie surplus. You gotta give your body the building blocks, right? For a sample 180-pound person, we're looking at a starting point of around 3,100 calories a day. You just can't build new muscle out of thin air. You need the raw materials from your food. And here's how those calories break down into what we call macros. Now, the number I want you to focus on is protein. For that 180-pound person, we're aiming for 180 grams. A good rule of thumb is about 1 gram per pound of your body weight. This is the absolute non-negotiable fuel for muscle repair and growth. And the third pillar, tracking. You have got to track your progress. Look, how you feel is important, for sure, but it can be really misleading from day to day. Objective, measurable data, we're talking your body weight, key measurements, and the weights you're lifting in the gym, that's the only way to know for sure if you're actually on the right path. So what happens after 12 weeks? Well, think of this whole thing not as a finish line, but as a launch pad for whatever you want to do next. Once you step back and assess your results, you've basically got 3 clear paths forward, depending on your goals. You can jump right into another 12-week building phase to maximize your gains. You could start a cutting or fat loss phase to really show off all that new muscle you've built, or hey, you can just maintain. enjoy your new strength, and take a well-earned break.
All right, we've covered a lot, so let's boil this whole system down to its most powerful core principles. What are the absolute key takeaways that will guarantee your success long-term?
This first one is maybe the most important. Consistency beats perfection every single time. Sticking to the plan 80% of the time for 12 weeks is so much better than being 100% perfect for 2 weeks and then just quitting. Showing up is the name of the game.
And here are the non-negotiable rules. Progressive overload is king. You have to get stronger. Protein and calories are your fuel. Sleep is honestly your best recovery supplement. And maybe the hardest one, patience is mandatory. If you can nail these 4 things, progress isn't just possible, it's pretty much inevitable.
So there you have it. You've got the knowledge, you've got the plan. The only thing left is the execution. We've laid out the entire roadmap for you, step by step. The path from where you are right now to where you want to be is crystal clear.
Honestly, the only variable left in this whole equation is you. The plan works, but only if you work the plan. So the only real question left is, when's your day one?
Thanks for watching. Subscribe our channel, which give us motivation to make better content for you. Save this playlist and see you in the next series.